Hey guys, it's Neil, and we are going to be going through Philippians today. Mark is in Canada, so I'm going to just walk us through a little chunk of Philippians today. So I hope you're all having a great day. Hope you're all still digging in and enjoying these videos, but also learning and growing at the same time. So we're going to hop into Philippians 1, starting at verse 27. And so get your Bibles out. If you need to pause the video, no big deal. But we're going to be looking at verses 27 and just kind of walk through it, and we'll see how it goes. So here we go. It says, in starting in verse 27, only let your manner of life be worthy of the gospel, so that whether I come and see you or am absent, I may hear of you hear of you that you are standing firm in one spirit, with one mind, striving side by side for the faith of the gospel. Now that's a lot right there in one verse, right? I mean, you got one spirit, one mind, standing firm. So we need to be unified. We need to be together. And so those are some key elements right there for the faith of the gospel. So we're doing all this for Jesus, for God, for the faith of the gospel, that it may spread and that more people may come to know Him. And I love the fact of the one spirit, one mind, and standing firm. To me, it just says, we need each other. We need each other community. We need each other at school. We need each other at home, in our relationships and our friendships. We need accountability. And so we need all those things in order for us to kind of be able to stand as one mind with one spirit to achieve what God is calling His church to achieve and calling us to achieve as believers. And so that's good stuff right there. One spirit, one mind, striving side by side. We're in this together. We've got to be unified. And that's why, a lot of times when we have things, you may be wondering, why are we doing this? Why are we doing that? And a lot of it's just so we can connect you guys to each other and help you realize that maybe there is someone else that's walking with Jesus at your school. Maybe there is someone else who's in your grade who's solid and following Christ. And so we want you guys to know that. We want you guys to see that and bond together so that we can do things more effectively. Anyone who tries to put a burden on themselves and carry the load, it gets tough. And it is very tiring and weary, but when we join together to do something, big things can happen. So let's keep going. So stand firm, one spirit, one mind, striving for the faith of the gospel. Not frightened by anything by your opponents. This is a clear sign to them of their destruction, but of your salvation, and that from God. For it has been granted to you that for the sake of Christ, you should not only believe in Him, but also suffer for His sake. Engage in the same conflict that you saw I had, and now here that I still have. So Paul is kind of telling him, don't be frightened. And again, that brings the whole one mind, one spirit thing back together. If we're one person going up against what to us looks like a whole army of opposition, it's going to be a lot easier for us to just kind of blend in or back away, right? But when you have a people next to you, you're side by side striving for the same thing, your confidence is up, and you're not frightened by anything in your opponents, because one, you've got the power of God with you, and you have other people around you, you have other people with you, and you're doing it with one spirit, one mind, with the power of the gospel, for the faith of the gospel. And so that's good stuff too. And then you look down in verse 29, it says, for it has been granted to you that for the sake of Christ you should not only believe in Him, but also suffer for His sake. And guys, there's going to be suffering. There's going to be things we go through that are going to be tough. And Paul's kind of, it's a warning. But for the sake of Christ, it's worth it. It may be hard, but that's, again, where the whole unity and the togetherness is so key. When we have people around us that are pouring into us and building us up, it makes it a lot easier to go through tough times and tough places in our life when we know someone else is fighting for us and praying for us and with us in our struggles. And then you look into verse 30, it says, engage in the same conflict you saw I had, and now here that I still have. So Paul's kind of saying, guys, I'm not just telling you to do this. I'm living it. I've lived it, and I'm there with you because I know what you're going through. I've had it. And I still have it, and so he's saying it's a process he's been in, so he's got credibility to what he's saying, and so that's huge as well. When you've got someone who's been through something that you're going through, and they come alongside of you and tell you, hey, stick it out. It's hard, but God is faithful, and God will help you through it. Those times and those people are so huge, and we have to have them in our life. So, and that goes back to what Mark talked about in the very first night. Everyone needs to have a Paul, and everyone needs to have a Timothy. We all need to have people we are being poured into by someone, and people we are pouring into ourselves. And so, what we're going to walk away with here today is just letting our manner of life being worthy of the gospel. Anywhere we are, at any time, us sharing the gospel has to make sense to someone. It has to be able to a point where they can say, yeah, well, of course, Neil believes this makes sense, him sharing what he's sharing. We got to be together. We have to be in one mind, in one spirit, for the faith of the gospel, the same goal, to reach people and to live our lives out loud for Christ. And just know that people have been through it, people have done it. As Paul's saying, I've had it, you've heard I've had it, and I still have it. And the suffering, and just know that together we don't have to be frightened. Together we can strive for that goal, and it'll make our lives a lot easier as one unit, striving to reach the world with the gospel. So that's all for today, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you are digging in. Go back and read through. Go back and watch other videos. That's pretty much the end of chapter 1. So hope you guys have a good day and a good weekend, and we'll check back in tomorrow.